can you please tell me about what you do and how you do it?
Okay. So in the UK and in the USA, I've got the company Invincible Group, which is a media marketing and events company. So the media company publishes magazines like Camden Monthly Newspaper, Teen Republic, Brand Weekly, etc. So the events company does the Urban Music Awards, National Reality Television Awards, British Young Business Awards, and we do loads of conferences and seminars like the Travel Show, which is a massive exhibition with travel clients all around the world. And that's what we do in the UK and the US. Everything we do in the UK, we do in the US as well. So we have the offices in New York and LA, and we have offices here as well. And then in China, we have Zuricom, which is basically we produce, Zuricom phones, and
amazing.
And we do Zuricom tablets.
Cool.
So, and then we have obviously it's a tech company. We launched in 2008. So. We have a manufacturing firm there, so we actually produce the stuff and sell to Africa, which is very successful. In Africa, I've got a company called Mokingo. Mokingo is basically divided into oil and commodities, property, entertainment, media, education. So oil and commodities, obviously, it goes without saying, so we work quite diligently in that market. Property, we own several properties in Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa. And we're expanding more as well. In entertainment, we launched the official African chart show, which is the version of the Top of the Pops or the UK charts. Okay. It counts down the top 10 best-selling singles and albums across Africa. And we're going to launch Africa Star, which would be a TV show across Africa, similar to Eurovision, which picks the best artist from each country to compete with the best artists from each country. And the final will be at the Urban Music Awards Africa and Nigeria. Where all the semi-finalists and the finalists will be signed to Mokingo Entertainment, which is our label out there. So we'll be touring across Africa and more. It's very successful. And in education, we're launching Mokingo University, which is a university for business. And the idea is to do something that's different to a traditional university. I want to launch a university for entrepreneurs in Africa. That's like the Harvard that everyone has to go to.
That'd be amazing.
And the idea is that you come for the first year at university, you get taught to be an entrepreneur. Right? By the second year, you launch your business whilst at university. So you become a business incubator for the student. Right? So by the time you leave the university, you're already an entrepreneur. And I want to have hundreds of entrepreneurs come out for Africa so that we can change the view of what the West sees in Africa. Because I've toured around Africa. I've got loads of businesses in Africa. And I can tell you that what I see being put on TV here and Africa I've seen there, you're talking about literally, you're showing me clips that were filmed 50, 60 years ago. I'm not saying there's no poverty in Africa, but there is no balance. I want to be the balance. I want to show the other side to Africa.
Can you share a nugget of wisdom for the young budding entrepreneurs out there? Okay.
Don't be afraid to learn. Right, I learn every day. I'm a humble dude. I will learn from a cleaner. I will learn from the person on the road. I'll learn from the person in anywhere. Learn every day, because the day you stop learning, you failed. Don't be afraid of fear. That word fear is created by somebody. Right? My acronym for fear is F, false, E, evidence, A, appearing real. So false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
It's never real.
Yeah.
Like fear is just it's a creative tendency. So don't be afraid of fear, and never give up. Never give up, because at the end of the day, that's all you've got. You only got one you, and that's you.
Yeah.
So why start something and give up? You know what I mean? If you have loads of options, you can give up on one, but don't give up on, say if you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Don't give up on being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because entrepreneur is not just a cool title to put on your CV. An entrepreneur is a person who never gives up, and that person is a person who's unrealistic. That person is a person who thinks outside the box, because the person, say Graham Bell, who launched the phone, the Wright brothers who launched the airline, Bill Gates, all these people are, when they were doing it, people thought they were crazy.
Yeah.
They always think you're out your depths. This is crazy, because the thing is, an entrepreneur is a person when everyone's going this way, they go that way, and that's how you have to be. Your mind always thinks outside the box. You always go that way, and that's what my kind of advice would be. It's just don't be afraid of fear. fear is just a word. You know what I mean? So if you have something that you want to do, you feel passionate about, if people say it's not going to work, be excited. I'm excited when someone says something's not going to work. When someone says something's going to work, I start getting scared. That's the truth, because I'm like, this is not going to be a good idea. Why? Because you shouldn't get it like that.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you should pretend to get it, and I know they pretend to get it. But launching a phone in China is a good idea. Designing a tablet is a really good idea. I know in their heads they're like, that ain't gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm happy to see that. But if someone's saying to me, yes, my friend did it last week, my other friend did, I'm like, this is something that's gonna work.
Yeah.
So I'm happy when someone says to me, this is not going to work. I'm also happy when someone says no to me, because no, when you switch it backwards means it's on. You know what I mean? So no is on. Right? So if someone says no to me, I'm like, it's on. Like, I'm going to get this, and I'll always do it. I always kind of come past that no. So use those negative things that people throw at you as your motivation. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at boxers like Muhammad Ali, you look at anyone who's ever been successful, or at anything, Barack Obama, anyone that you look at has been successful, someone's always told them that it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. You're never going to see a black president in America. Never. They look in your face, they're like, you're fighting a losing battle. And then it happens.
Yeah.
And the reason is because the belief that you have is that you've seen yourself there already. Like, so everybody's saying it's not going to work. It's like, it's cool. You ain't seen that. The Picasso I'm painting is done.
Yeah.
All I need to do is take this brush, paint it, and I'll give you the canvas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you got to do.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What would you say are the main elements for success?
Well, the main elements for success, I would say, you have to have an unrealistic amount of faith, right? So it's like, when I say unrealistic, I mean, that kind of faith that there is nothing that can come in the way of that. You also have to have a tenacity, which is like literally having that power that you can never give up. So it doesn't matter what you throw at that person, and the only way, it's like, the only thing I like about someone like 50 Cent's words is like, get rich or die trying, right? It's like, I'm going to be successful or I'm going to die.
Yeah.
That's the two things that are going to happen. So that's the motto. It's like, I'm going to make a massive success or I'm going to die. So when you have those two options, you're not going to die, you're going to be successful. Yeah. You're going to die at some point.
Yeah, but
the option to live is that while I'm living, I'm going to live successfully.
Most definitely.
Have work ethic. Some people, when they say work ethics, and people think, you have to work 24/7, you have to work this, and some entrepreneurs do it, and then they get to a point where they amass a huge amount of wealth and millions of pounds, but you've overworked yourself. You're not enjoying it. Work ethic is a life and work balance, where you work to a certain level of time, and then you enjoy as well, because you have to enjoy the fruits of your labor, or you have to. It doesn't matter if you haven't got a lot of money. Enjoy time out in nature. Do your stuff that will kind of re-energize you. The reason I'm saying that is because you can make it and become pissed off. Do it for the right reason, and understand that it's not a destination. It's a continuous journey. You know what I mean? And your success already is inside you. You're born successful. Home, work, home, work, home, work, vacation, home, work, vacation. It's not true living. To wake up and smell the coffee and just look at life and say, I'm happy just for waking up. I'm walking down the street, be nice to people, show love to people. But every time you do something nice to somebody, how do you feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel when you help somebody else? How do you feel? You feel good, right? So that's what true living is. Not saying I'm gonna do something nice. I'm gonna help people in 10 years' time when I've got it. Just live life fully. Fully now is live life with love and just help people and share. Just talk to people. Be part of the human race, and that's what truly living is, and that's what success is. That's the most important thing of success. So that's what I would say. That's the elements of success. When you have all of that, you'll be rich, because someone who's truly rich has all those elements. So your question is about elements. You can't. I've never seen anyone who's truly rich but is pissed. right? Because then you got money, but you're pissed off, so you're not truly rich, right? I've never seen someone who's truly rich, but they want to kill people, right? That happens, but you're not truly rich. That's not success, because you have a tendency to kill.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, you're a gangster, you're making a lot of money, but you have a tendency to kill, so you're not successful. You can't sleep at night. You have this thing that wants to do something bad. So what's success? Success is really being an all-rounder, showing love to the human race. And human race, I use human races in every single race, So we all part of the same human race. So if you can walk around and just be you. Right, you don't have to be a character that's painted or character someone's painted to you. Just be you and just show people that it's important. To be nice, and it's not nice to be important. And then what you're gonna have is a full successful person, because everything you give, you're gonna get back.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the elements of success. And if you want to run a business after that, you want to be successful. Why do people like Richard Branson? Why do people like Virgin? Because they like Richard Branson. Why do people like to go somewhere, where there's good service? Because there's good service there. They feel good when they go there. Why do you like your favorite brand? Because it makes you feel good. Everything that people do that make you feel good, that's business. So at the end of the day, if you apply that to your life, all those stuff you want, the external stuff will come. You attract it. You attract the good things.
I like that. Feel good. Outside of your businesses, what are you passionate about?
Music. Yeah, so music, I started as a performer, so even whilst I was studying at university, I was always performing music, presenting, I've done stuff for BBC, etc. Music has been passionate. I'm writing music, singing, rapping, whatever, all that. That's always been like the core, but I'm lucky I didn't take it professionally, because it's a passion. As a hobby, it's something that you like doing, and I wouldn't want to monetize it. So it wasn't something that I want to do, because once you your passions, some passions, not all, right? Some things that you like personally, once you start trying to make money out of those things, sometimes you lose sometimes the passion, because sometimes you lose what you started with. So music is number one. I mean, I could write all day long, so. Yeah.
Where can you see the Jordan Kensington empire being in 10 years' time?
So I think as a company, I've done a lot in Europe, I've done a lot in the UK and America for the past 16 years. And in Africa, I feel like I've done just a minuscule of what I want to do.
Okay.
That's why Mokingo as a brand, I want Mokingo to be the biggest brand in Africa. So I want it to be £1 billion company. I've made millions in Europe, but I want to build £1 billion company in Africa, owned by someone who's part African. So going back to my roots and really, going back and owning that, and I want to change the face of Africa. It's a very important mission for me, because I think if not, why not? Who's going to do it? So someone has to report on the other side. Someone has to show you the entrepreneurs. Someone has to tell you that there's a guy called Dangote in Nigeria who's on the Forbes list as one of the richest people in all of Africa. Is worth billions. Oil, cement, everything. Right? Someone has to tell you that Heathrow is owned by Nigeria. Heathrow Airport. You don't know this stuff.
No, I didn't know that.
Someone has to say that. But this is the face of Africa that we don't see. So I want to show people what the motherland has got. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not. Listen, I love Europe. I love the UK with all my heart. The UK. I was born in London. London is my city. London made me who I am today. So I love London with all my heart. I love Europe with all my heart. When I go to America, I'm embraced. Everything we do in America. When we launched the UMAs in 2007 in America, it was a success. When we launched LA Monthly in Los Angeles, we were embraced. So I've got nothing but love for the West, but also love my roots as well.
Of course.
So I love Africa a lot. And I'm so excited to show people what I see. And what not the world hasn't painted that sort of picture. So I want to be that voice, and I want to show them by action, because I think people see by action. If I build £1 billion company with Mokingo in Africa, what's going to happen is it's going to excite a lot of people to feel like, do you know what, I can go back and do the same thing.